Hello everyone, Gaming with Big Green, and we're here in Land of Jails, and we're going to talk about some things that are super important. Things to give you an edge, possibly gaining power, and just overall general sense of what you want to do when you're upgrading certain things in certain areas, so that way you also don't lose power. That's right. So, we're going to jump into this, and we're going to start with the Toves, and we're going to also talk about the troops and the troop buildings and stuff like that. That's going to kind of tie into the construction talk. So we're going to get started, but we're going to start with the most important thing. It would be the Toves. Now, when you're upgrading, you're going to want to upgrade these evenly. That means all the way around, turn them color evenly, because as you see the little blue triangle and the little blue circle, you're going to get extra stats for upgrading these evenly. Okay, once you go from green to blue, you're going to get an increase of stats. We'll look at that in just a second, but real quick, don't forget, do not purchase the blue Toves. From events and stuff like that, you're going to get these things for free from hunting, from doing rallies, and from also that little cool slot machine roulettes, or the spinning thing. So, you know what I'm saying, the arcade that you have in your game. So you're going to get abundance of blue things for free, blue Toves, so really don't have to focus on buying them. Now, right here is what I'm talking about. You can see the first one, the 3, is going to give you increase of defense for having 3 of these sets complete. You get an also increase for having star level on each 3, okay? So, over here, you get attack for having 6 blue. Okay, and it's going to change when you turn them colors. The higher you go, the higher the stats are going to be. But then you can also get an increase extra of attack for having stars on them. So you don't really want to go heavy on one and double up, because it's going to take you longer to hit these completion bonuses and gain extra stats. So that's really cool. Now, there is a slight rhythm. You always want to do shield first, shooter second, and then bombers third. That's always how I try to upgrade. And another reason why you want to do that too, you always want to put a little bit more effort into your shield, because right here at level 25, you're going to get the robot. That robot is going to increase your bombers. Okay, your first robot is going to increase your bomber attack and bomber defense. You can see it right there on screen. And then you're also at level 27 going to receive another robot that's going to give you the stats just like this, but it's going to be for shooters. So at level 27, right there in that empty spot there, you're going to get a shooter robot. So you have a bomber and a shooter. What you do not have is a shield robot. So with that being said, I lean heavily more onto my shield bearer's gear or equipment than I do my other ones. Now, I do my shooter ones also very, you know what I'm saying, like they are important to me, but the shield is going to pick up for the lack of stats that I'm missing, because I have a shooter robot, a bomber robot, but I don't have a shield bearer robot. So I put a little bit more effort into my hero equipment gear with my shield, and when I do upgrade, if I'm at an even spot with my Toves, I tend to do the shield ones first, because they are very important. And like when I say they're very important, they are hugely important. So before we talk about that, we're going to talk about this, okay? Your lab and your troop buildings. So when you have a building in construction, just like this building with my medical center, you can't train troops. You can't do research. So a lot of people want to hammer their speed ups into their warden office and just say for the warden office. The longer you have construction on your troop buildings and your lab, the less power you are going to gain overall, because you're not able to train troops, you're not able to do research. So always try to save speed ups to get through these crucial buildings. Like, I can't tell you how important it is, because 12 hours in construction on that, you're losing almost 2 full rounds of training troops. Same thing with research. You don't really want to, you know what I'm saying, have your buildings be in construction. Now, if you're going to use troop speed ups, I would recommend doing it just on your shield. Shield. Bombers and shooters, let it go natural. Reason being, because you're going to want an abundance of shield bearer troops, infantry troops. Because if you ever look at what actually dies in battle, especially if you're coming with a lower shield ratio and don't have a high shield amount, you're going to take more loss. Okay, and the losses you're going to take is going to be mostly your shields. You can see right there, mostly all the troops that died were all my shield troops. They are the first in line. So they're going to be the first ones to die on you. And if you attack, your shield's going to go away. They're going to die. And then that's going to leave your other troops more vulnerable, and you're going to end up losing more and more attacks. So having an abundance of shield troops over the other ones is very, very, very important. Cannot stress that enough. So my recommendation, if you are going to use speed ups, do not use it on the bombers and shooter buildings. Skip that. Put your troop speed ups into your infantry, your shield bearer types. And again, when you're upgrading the gear or the hero equipment, your shield bearer, try to lean a little bit heavier on, because you're not going to quite get that with the robots. Robots can kind of make up for the stats that you're going to get, you know what I'm saying? So always got to kind of think ahead. And okay, I'm getting robots at level 25. That's going to increase my bomber. I'm getting a robot at level 27. It's going to increase my shooter. What about my shield? So let me try to start working on my shield equipment a little bit early, so that way my shield troops, and like I said, they're so important, because if they die off, your other troops are not going to do well. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. I just wanted to point that out there. And as you can see, you know, we got a really good team here. We are ranked 41. I think yesterday we jumped to like 36 after reset. But we're up in the top team. We're just started, and I give the same information to all the members here on the team. We're about almost 400 million stronger than second place where we're at, and you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's taking this advice and just running with it. And like I hear people saying, "Oh, it's you know, good guidance or good." Okay, like I was saying in our nap the other day, it takes all cylinders firing to be successful. You need good leadership, but you also need a good team of leadership, such as our force, to help run the team. And then you also need a good team around you. That means finding good members who participate. Make sure you have active people around, more active people, because that just feeds into the fun and atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, you could grab Bill Belichick and put him in charge of the Cleveland Browns. If you don't have a good team supporting a good leader, then you got nothing, you know? So I want to give a special thanks to everyone, and I want to give a shout out to Priest. I believe you were on server 298. If I get it wrong, I'm sorry. It's either 289 or 298. I think it might be 289. I'm not 100% sure, but shout out to Priest. I'll put your server number down in the comments. But thank you all for watching. I hope this video helps, and I'll see you guys around.